There we go.
Hey.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not much. How about you?
And what do we got back behind you?
5 big Bengal tigers are back there, and they're supposed to be up front. Here's one.
Which rapper did you get those from?
They came from 50 Cent. I gave. That's just it. You know, Tyson will get one, and all these guys get them, and then when they get big,
They're like, oh, they get big.
yeah, we end up with them.
Oh yeah, after they take a picture on Instagram, they get rid of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. What happened to the? Remember when? I don't know if you were around then when Joe got bit on the feet, and he said it was because of he said cologne or somebody put something on his shoes. Remember that?
He's blaming me. He thinks that because I was on his life insurance policies when I came here and took over the zoo, because he figured if he died, he had to have all these cats cared for, so he put me as a beneficiary.
Right.
So one day he's out filming one of his gubernatorial or presidential bid campaign videos, and this cat grabs him by the foot and drags him through. So he didn't want to admit that he was just dumb and shouldn't have been in there not paying attention. So, of course, it was, you know, they sprayed perfume on my boots or my shoes just to get me killed. So
yeah, that's
we
right.
were here that day. It's funny.
But in reality, the problem Joe did is that he would actually give shoes to them as toys. So when they see shoes, they're like, oh, that's a toy. So he had little flurry things on his shoes and drag them across.
Number one mistake. Even I know, I know not to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
The first person I thought that was guilty was Carole fucking Baskin.
There's no doubt. There's no question. I mean, if you can, we know so much more than that documentary showed. You know, Netflix whitewashed a lot of it, I think, because of legal exposure for something they can't prove. But you know, we have a lot more evidence against her that just wasn't shown. You don't write a will that says in case of my death or disappearance. You know.
Yeah, listen. I watched it, and there has to be more to it than her just giggling and riding her bike around the property.
Yeah. Does it remind you of the Wizard of Oz, watching her ride that bike around?
I did think she had, you know, I don't know much about it. You know, it's whatever I get to watch, and you guys were living it for years. But the nervous giggle and like who me, and she's very innocent in the whole thing. But she sort of has a zoo, or I don't know the difference between a sanctuary and a zoo, but it's a very similar situation going on.
Well, you know, sanctuaries are supposed to be closed to the public, and she's open to the public. She charges $36 for somebody to go in and see big cats in small cages. So I don't know how she can justify it or differentiate it from what we do, you know, and we're trying to make our cages bigger and bigger. She's trying to just fill her little park, you know, full of cats. So I just don't get it. She's hypocritical, and you know, that's the problem that Joe had with her, besides the lawsuit, is she was just a big hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, I think she does come off like that. I think on the Joe side, everyone seems to be pretty honest, good or bad. They sort of say warts and all, kind of what they're like, and then she really plays like nothing's wrong and she never did anything wrong.
But you know what? If nothing else comes out of this, she's been exposed for the phony that she is. And, you know, it's hopefully, if she wants to be the big Mother Teresa of big cats, why does she have to have her own collection in cages? You know, send those out to other sanctuaries and go ahead and petition your politicians and your local representatives and get it done that way. But don't, if you're going to lead by example, your example is putting big cats in cages. So I just, you know,
I
that's
agree.
the
That
problem
makes
we have
sense,
with Carole.
because it's either don't have them or do have them. Like, but she's doing the same thing. She's saying that she shouldn't. Now it said you got sued. Was it for $70 million? Are you going to pay that all at once or do monthly payments?
I'm going to see if I can work that out on an installment plan. You know, just like feed his commissary.
Is that from Joe? Is that he did it?
Joe, I think it's 94 or $97 million. He's suing the federal investigators who put him there. He's suing us for the death of his mother, which we didn't even know she died until 2 days after. So he's just delusional. You know, that's what we've dealt with. It's just his personality is just so ridiculous. And you know what? He almost normalizes insanity.
When you guys started, were you actual friends, or did it sort of just fizzle out business and it got two different personalities sort of clashing?
No, Lauren and I were living in Colorado, and Joe heard that we were out there to buy a big zoo. So he saw us as a paycheck, and he asked if he could come out and kind of inspect the zoo we were buying and give me his professional opinion. So we flew him and his husband out there, and we showed him a fun time and skydiving and everything else. And then he told me that he was dying, had 2 years to live at the most, and he trusted me to be smart enough to run this park. He says, just not everybody can do it, and that's true. But so we came out here, saw this place, and it was nice. I mean, it's set up nice, and we had 30 cats of our own that we needed homes for. And so we came here, we bailed him out of trouble, paid all the bills, and then his lawsuit started burying him. You know, the Baskin lawsuit I refused to pay for because that was his mistake, his problem.
That was breaking his back, yeah.
Yeah, so once we got to the point, he got to the point where his lawyers just said, Joe, you just got to dissolve your company, get out from under this. So he did. He shut his zoo down, completely shut it down. Dissolved it, the corporation. Lauren and I formed a new corporation and opened it back up to the public. So, you know, everybody says we stole the zoo from Joe. It couldn't be any further from the truth. He was ready to walk. He had the doors closed when we took over.
There's not many places he can work unless, you know, exotic Trader Joe's or something. But
he's limited.
You said, Lauren Closier is the joke of a little pussy gets a lot of pussy. Now, is that going to be on a T-shirt? Because I checked Amazon all morning.
If you want one, David, I'll make you one.
I think
tattoo it. Get the tattoo.
Catchy. We'll throw it on John. He's got about 100 tattoos. Are there any downsides to getting bit by a tiger? I heard you got some stitches on one.
Yeah, it sucks. It's I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to know what it feels like, it's the pressure of the jaws. It's not the teeth aren't sharp. So when they go in, they're dull teeth. So when they go in, it's the pressure that just crushes your bone, crushes your arms, and it hurts like hell. I mean, it hurts for months because your arms or wherever you got bit just feels like a big, huge bruise for months and months. If you get ripped open, you really don't feel it because if it's a clean cut, they stitch it up and you're done. But just don't do it. You're just better off to avoid it.
You know what? Scratching it off my bucket list.
Take that right off.
Any regrets from the show? Anything you wish they showed? Or Eric's the director. How was your relationship with Eric?
I won't go there too deep, but you know they had a show to make and they made their show, and you know it's you know Hollywood better than anybody. They create a lot of things that really don't exist, and it's sensationalized things. I texted him the next day and I said, you know what, all in all, it wasn't bad. I wish you hadn't done this or said this, but that's a discussion for another time. Let him enjoy his glory, and we'll enjoy our. He made us look like sluts, but it's really helping us get laid. So, it worked out okay that way. And I just, Tiger season 2. I don't think everybody's asking if there's a season 2. I don't know anybody, particularly Carole Baskin's going to want to cooperate with him now. But we'll see.
I mean, maybe they have old footage. Maybe that. You sound like you're being generous about that. But that's okay. Keep yourself safe.
Call me later and I'll tell you the story.
Is there? Someone asked me, because I asked some fans, because this is obviously such a big worldwide hit. Everyone's curious about everything. I can't ask you enough stuff, but you're sort of answering and expanding, which helps cover things. Is there money in a zoo, or is there love of animals and then there's money, or is it a little of both? You know what? It's a little of both. Like the attention that this thing has brought will fill the bank account back up for a while, but it's always depleted in the off, in the downtime. When people don't come to the zoo in the winter, and we're spending $5,000 or $6,000 a week in food and $2,500 a week in veterinary care. Yeah. We struggle. I had money at one time, and then I bought a zoo. Yeah. And so now when I was watching, they were building one near Thackerville where there's a casino that I've actually played a couple times. So that sounded like a decent location because there's always so many people going to that casino. But is that something you're involved in or no?
That's my zoo, and then Lauren and I are building that zoo. It's directly behind WinStar. It's 55 acres, and it's right back in the woods. Real pretty. You'll have to next time you're at WinStar, you need to come over.
When I saw that, because I know when I land and go to Windsor, there's really nothing around it. So to have another big, place to go when everyone's pouring into Windsor, that place is packed all the time.
You should see it now.
Oh my.
Oh, dude,
It's empty. It's empty.
Oh, right now, of course.
Yeah.
You got to stay 6 feet away from those tigers. You know what there is? There's like the airport, then 20 miles, then an adult bookstore, and then 20 more miles, and then Windsor.
Yes.
Then you're in WinStar.
Drive by, we're like, are people still going to an adult bookstore? I mean,
Right?
you got porn at home. Okay, so anything, I guess you're saying it. There's stuff that wasn't in the film, but if there's anything else you want to say before we rally out?
Joe, I'm sorry, buddy, but you did what you did, and now you got to serve your time for it.
But on a happier note, can I introduce my baby?
Of course.
The baby and the nanny.
Yeah,
I was about to say, do you mean the nanny or do you mean?
We already have the nanny.
Yeah, we got the nanny.
Oh, the nanny's the one you were looking online.
Yeah, the
Is
nanny's
that her
here.
from online?
This is her.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Oh, she learned how to find the camera. Hi, how are you? Put her on the tiger.
I put her on the
Jeff out of that
tiger.
ear. Hold on.
So who are we gonna have play you guys in the movie? I think Lauren, you can be Jennifer Aniston, and
Jennifer Aniston. Ooh, that'd be good.
that's not bad. What about you, Jeff? We'll get somebody cool. We'll get a big star.
David Spade. No way. Joe Dirt's got to play Joe Exotic.
I love it. Yeah, you know what? I think Joe Dirt is my in with everybody on these things because everyone brings it up. I love it. Thank you. It's great chatting with you, and maybe we'll talk again. And if I'm out at the Windsor, I'll come by.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, glad you get to tell your side. Okay, guys, we'll talk soon.